Good evening. Quick question. Have you ever wanted to be beaten to near death by a group of purple men, only to be blown away by a stray fireball? No? Well, why are you here then? Welcome back to Rimworld, and welcome to the town of a colony made entirely of wizards, performing their shadowy rituals with the only goal to survive 100 days against the onslaught of these eggplant-looking people. Will we be able to withstand the sieges from the Void, or will the Shadow Wizard Money Gang meet its end? Only time will tell, so let us begin. Let me introduce you to the main character of our merry band of miscreants, that being Mr. Gooner. The other poor souls joining Gooner on this mission are a few subscribers who left comments on the last Rimworld video. If you want to become test subjects for my depraved mind in a future challenge, leave a comment down below telling me what you want done to you. Needing to fight back against the Void, we crafted these characters to have the skills to be able to, if just marginally. With our equipment and colonists selected, we make our way down to the planet to begin our conquest. Welcome to the planet, and our wonderful area we will now call home, filled with mountains, hills, and various other inclined terrain. Wonderful. And like a moth to flame, we send our dwarf-like minions to start chipping away at the nearest mountain range. The Void will soon be coming for our various jewels, trinkets, and assorted doodads. So to avoid such expropriation, I decide to create a research bench to evolve this current colony out of the Stone Age. Around this time, we also fish through our supplies to find some Psylink neuroformers, which basically act as a Hogwarts fast pass, giving us the ability to choose which tree of powers to go down, thanks to the Psycasts expanded mod. And while all the powers are pretty tame to begin with, the further we go into the trees, the wackier they become. Finally, on day 5, I begin the construction of a grand wall to protect the base, giving us time to prepare ourselves for war. But do you know who else will also be preparing for war? You, with this video's sponsor, War Thunder. Immerse yourself in the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made, with over 2,000 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships in dynamic, combined arms PvP battles. My favorite activity in this game is to cosplay as hot anime men in service to the Empire of the Rising Sun. Banzai. With one of the most dynamic and detailed vehicle damage models in gaming, combined with this handy dandy X-ray feature, you can be 100% certain of all the war crimes you will be committing. Whether you are looking for a fast, action-packed murder fest, or a slower, more tactical experience, War Thunder offers you these intense PvP battles at various immersion levels for all playstyles. And with the game available for free on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, there's no better time to hop in. And to sweeten the deal, new and returning players can receive a large bonus pack, which includes multiple premium vehicles, premium account status, an exclusive 3D decorator for your vehicles, and much more, using my link in the description. It's so much value, I think I might war chunder, but be quick, as this offer is available for a limited time only. So click it. I'm waiting. But the Void have come, and they don't look too pleased. They tell me that the area I control is a part of their newly annexed territory, and ask me to piss off. And I tell them essentially to get bent. And like a passive-aggressive girlfriend, they respond saying that's absolutely okay, only to cancel me on twitter.com, then send a solar flare and localized radiation at my area. Some might call this a disproportionate reaction, however I do not blame them, as believe me, I'll pay them back in kind. Over the days we established various systems crucial to our survival, as Lanin was spending his time cutting nearby rocks into manageable bricks for us to build our grand wall. And inside this wall, we decide to place a lovely box, primed for maximum killing. Yes, for the first time in many years that I have had this game, this challenge has forced me into creating a kill box until I can handle the true threat the Void poses. After setting up an area to prepare food and other power-based research, we install turrets into our kill box, and just in time, as our first Void interloper has reared his ugly face. Now this little fella here truly had me quaking in my boots, but I had a special trick up my sleeve that would allow me to survive a lot longer than I should, and that is the spike trap. With these grand security measures, the AI has no choice but to directly move through every single one of them, until they died. With this win under our belts, we continue building up our colony and reconstructing our traps until yet another unfortunate soul tries again, much to the same outcome. But wait, here's another that's come to say hello, and all my traps are disarmed. This could very quickly get ugly, but instead of fighting, he just grabs his dead friend's codeine and leaves. What? Okay. Day 15 had rolled around, and while we had set up many amenities for our colonists to use, we had still refrained from giving them all beds to sleep on. But who can blame me when my attention is being pulled away from the needs of all my fellows, and instead toward the gaggle of man-hunting monkeys coming for my bussy. However, my bussy is not for sale, and the spike traps took care of the rest. Another void raid happened, with a predictable outcome, and I was starting to think this challenge was pretty easy. Oh, what a fool I was. And almost as though fate was showing its hand, I was offered reputation by the only other non-hostile faction, in exchange for making a structure with some sarcophagi present. On a completely unrelated note, whilst Crazy Creature was enjoying a leisurely stroll out and about in the area, he suddenly gets attacked by an eldritch horror of otherworldly design, and after being downed, he faces a fate worse than death. He gets V.O.I.D. Now at this point, I was scared. But after seeing this beast travel through all my doors and have none of my turrets shooting at it, you could say that I was f***ing terrified. Slowly but surely, the beast rips its way through all of my colonists, until it gets to IDN, who instead of voring, it just straight up kills him. Poor IDN. Thankfully, due to the perseverance of Guna, he is able to save the others, if just barely. Considering that I only before thought this challenge was going to be easy, this encounter acted as a much needed reality check, as I was down one colonist and very much afraid. But I wouldn't stay down for long, as a quest appeared giving us exactly what we needed: more bodies to throw at the enemy. Now with this Pyrrhic victory behind us, we rest and recover using the codeine I mentioned earlier, which has a slight side effect of growing back lost limbs. But after all this time, Guna had leveled up, allowing him to gain the ever important and overpowered ability of Mind Break. Now while some of you degenerates might associate those words with a specific type of art, I'll have you know that this is the exact same thing. Once every raid, Guna is able to use his psychic abilities to convert one lucky Void member to join the colony, to which we almost immediately strip them of all their overpowered gear and start harvesting their godlike organs. This is how we will be able to fight back against this threat. However, for us to get started, we need an enemy to actually get through our impenetrable defense, as even when a group of 4 Void enemies tried to invade our colony, the spike traps came out victorious once again. We begin day 38 with an ominous message, as a conversion chamber has dropped in our territory, with some pretty sussy sounds coming from within. Sounds lovely. We soon after receive yet another Void enemy thinking that he can destroy us. Now, I make my move. I send in the squad to provide Guna support, whilst he uses his magic and converts Pugsley to our side. Now he's become the first of many mindless thralls, and while he can't do things like mining, he can instead do incredibly complex R&D research. How that makes sense? I don't know. We are also able to strip him bare and move all of his overpowered gear to someone more deserving of such equipment. Of course, I'm talking about Mr. Guna. Finally, after he's been mind controlled, we lay him on the ground and begin picking at him for parts. You don't mind if I borrow that, do you? After a week or so of lollygagging and receiving Uber Eats, we get another raid from the Void, where Guna takes yet another thrall, this time being Sam, and after doing the regular stripping of gear, we then have her put to work in a different way. See, members of the Void, once turning into thralls, still have incredibly high medical skill, and now I have all these organs with nobody to put them inside Guna, so who better than the person he just mind-f***ed against her will? But remember that conversion chamber? Yeah, I sure don't, because all of a sudden this very large creature is roaming around my kill box and destroying all my turrets. Thank God he doesn't know what a door is, as he just lingers around my kill box until I finally put him down. Now after seeing what true threats are present in this mod, I make our research and development a priority for the coming fight. On day 67, we finish construction of our double high-tech research bench, allowing us to expand into even greater war crimes. But to show how busted the conversion of Void characters are even further, take this tech for example. This is real time. Now whilst our researchers proceed down every research tree at Mark 5, our other colonists focus on building more important structures, like a hospital, for streamlining ethical part extraction. This week we also get offered another Psylink neuroformer in exchange for fighting 60 angry squirrels. Well, looks like we know what we're having for dinner, after which we allow Viana to drink the Kool-Aid and become a colonist that I actually care about. We also get attacked by these things, which of course set off all my traps and break all of my shit, before keeling over and dying. Wonderful. Now after considering that this kill box has lasted for so many days and raids, do you think it would be a good idea to change it around? No, but I did it anyway. I introduced you all to the Killbox 2.0, with many more holes to shoot through, and many more turrets like these 50 cal ones, capable of breaking in even the most armored Eldritch Abomination. In part, due to our incredibly overpowered R&D team, we were also able to begin construction of Gauss rifles and exoskeletons for our defense, as well as delving into the arcane American arts of drilling for oil. We also briefly acquire a new boy toy named Prince, who can be quickly disregarded, as all they are used for was being a temporary user of Lanan's new organs. This day began with a raid that dug through one of our side mountains, breaking right into our storage room in an attempt to rob us. However, the unlucky fellow ran into Guna, converting yet another Void to our side, that being Wild, who on account of being a Void elite unit, had many better implants to steal, which is exactly what I did, and I almost immediately gave them to Guna, just in time as well, as Guna was getting married to one of his mind-broken slaves. Now, if you eliminate the immorality of such an act, one may consider this a touching moment. Not for long, however, as in the battle right after, she ends up dying. Poor Guna. So to make sure something like this doesn't happen again, we begin to work on a very special room, and a piece of space-age technology. Day 85 begins with our friends asking us to take some prisoners off their hands. Due to them being degenerates who watch thirst traps on TikTok, they have suffered full cardiovascular breakdown, reducing them to a vegetative state. And because our friends were offering us a space-age infinite energy machine, who was I to say no? On the same day, however, we were also approached by a group of children requesting medicine. Since their demand would drain my storages dry, I felt content in ignoring their pleas. But whilst this negotiation was taking place, the shield generator became active. Hey, that's only supposed to happen when there's danger. Oh no. No, buttermilk. Two of the three children met their end that day, but we were not so easily defeated, as due to our new killbox design and various upgrades and weaponry, this was the easiest Black Leper kill so far. Feeling that we gave our convicts a bit too much luxury stored in our colonists' rooms, we decided to place them somewhere a bit more fitting for their post, that being a cutout stone hole with concrete flooring. Around this time, we also get our Rimfeller systems online, allowing us to perpetually make components with ease, to prepare for the coming threats. The more physical of the colonists use this newfound technology to begin construction of a final grand wall, with the intention of expanding our territory, while the big brain members of our colony begin researching a way off the planet. I say that, but look at this. They research how to build a whole damn spaceship in an afternoon. Not all the sunshine and rainbows, however, as during the week we can see that the raids are ever increasing in intensity, almost like they're preparing for something big. Anticipating a large-scale attack, the colony prepares by installing very impressive pulse turrets, as well as many other internal turrets into the base. Crazy Creature has been made truly crazy, as he has been upgraded with many new Void brand parts from a lucky volunteer. And finally, our prisoners have waited out their time long enough, as we send them to who knows where in exchange for our power cell. However, this was the last straw. Sensing the technologies that we now had access to, the Void had decided that this was their make or break, so they invade with a very large land force, intent on putting us down. But we won't go down that easy, because we have magic and tech on our side. Isn't that right, Guna? Guna! That's fine. We still have others, like Lanan. Turns out lightning is very good against Void and their shields, but apparently not as good against eldritch beasts from another dimension. At this point, the only two left are Wild and Crazy Creature inside of our Marshall tank. A lot of damage is being done, but to no avail, as the tank is soon destroyed. Out of options, they both fall back into our storage room, prepared to make a final stand. Wild takes a position further back, while Creature is a little bit behind, until our single anti-grain warhead catches, and Creature, happening to be right on top of the bomb, turns into nothing more than a green mist. With all of our casters dead, Wild, the mindless thrall, for some reason continues to fight with an obvious outcome. The Void have conquered our settlement and beaten us down once and for all. Thanks again to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Make sure to check it out using my link below and you'll get a bonus pack including vehicles, boosters, and more. Thank you all for watching, and more videos on the way soon.